Hello there, people of the internet. My name is Udwur Jagero, and this is Political Headache. So, for decades, Luo politics has been defined by one man, Raila Amolo Odinga, the man who survived detention, tear gas, betrayal, and ballots that mysteriously multiplied overnight. For many, Raila was not just a politician, he was a political climate. You didn't ask if it would rain, you would ask how heavy the Raila storm would be. But here is the headache. Raila, for all his genius, has never been good at succession. He has gathered lieutenants like Orengo, Jienda, Millie Odhiambo, and even his own brother, Oburu. But when the hour of inheritance came, the baton never left his hand. Orengo is brilliant, but has always been more useful as a sword than a king. Odhiambo, do you agree?
No. I'll tell you why.
Oburu had the family name, Mr. Odhiambo, but not the fire, I believe. Millie had the tongue, but perhaps not the machinery. You agree? And Babu Owino, let's just say you don't entrust a Ferrari to someone who is learning the highway code. So why now? Why? At this particular hour, with Raila, having eyed the African Union and lost, and is now with the government, we have to ask ourselves who Raila's successor has been. And why did that figure point at Gladys Wanga? You know, a woman who, until a decade ago, was just the new woman rep in Homa Bay. This is the paradox we are about to unfold. The name on everyone's lips, Gladys Atieno Nyasona Wanga. Now, let's not pretend politics is a Sunday school lesson, Mr. Odhiambo. In Nyanza, succession is not about filling shoes. It's about wearing boots big enough to leave new footprints. And Wanga, ladies and gentlemen, has been lacing her since childhood. Can we talk about, the bringing up of Wanga, right? Born in 1981, daughter of Councillor John Nyasona, Wanga didn't learn politics in a classroom. She learned it on a campaign trail, watching her father shake hands, count votes, and something like counting enemies. By the age of 5, she wasn't just distributing campaign flyers. She was inhaling the scent of raw politics. Her mother, Grace Olum, added to the ingredient, discipline. And so a formula was born, grassroots mobilization from daddy, hard work, and toughness from mommy. Okay? And what happened at Kisumu Girls High School? She staged her first rebellion. Do you know that? A prefect strike. Imagine that, prefects going on strike, prefects refusing to wear their uniform. The school wanted a scapegoat, and they could not find anybody but Wanga. Suspended for a year, that's not mischief, Mr. Odhiambo, that's political apprenticeship. Do you agree? If Raila Odinga is the master of defiance, then Gladys Wanga was learning about it very, very early. Fast forward to Kenyatta University. Wanga studied health management, not political science, not law. Health management, that's a clue. This was a woman not building a career in speeches, but in solutions. And in 2003, she made history. First female Secretary General of the Kenyatta University Students' Union. If you've seen Kenyan student politics, you know it's not a tea party. We know Babu Owino, and we know the rest of them. We know Rengo and Megona. It is more like a boxing match with the neckties. Wanga didn't just enter, she conquered, and she walked out with more than a degree. She walked out with George Wanga. Do you know George Wanga?
Yes, that's my brother.
That's your brother,
yes.
Her husband. Their marriage, like her career, would soon be tested by the furnace of Kenyan politics, where family is always collateral damage. In 2013, devolution is fresh. You remember? The Office of Women Representative is vague. Okay, what does Wanga do? Many treated it as a decorative seat. Wanga sharpened it into a weapon. Okay, she formed a women's circle, built membership programs, gave women traders cooler boxes in partnership with Coca-Cola. These weren't just projects; they were voter insurance policies. Do you agree? And by 2017, her political machine was so formidable, she was re-elected unopposed. Unopposed in Luo Nyanza, that's like trying to sell ugali in Kisumu without competition. Unthinkable. She had cemented her grassroots fortress. Meanwhile, in Nairobi, she was breaking barriers. First woman from Nyanza to sit on the Parliamentary Service Commission, Okay? Then chair of the powerful finance committee in parliament, the first woman in Kenya's history to do so. That was not an accident, according to me, Mr. Odhiambo. And the audience will agree with me. That was succession grooming, courtesy of the handshake politics between Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. And let's be clear, Mr. Odhiambo, because I'm going to allow you to speak, but let me speak for now.
Please do.
Okay? You cannot talk about Gladys Wanga without Raila Odinga, I believe. She has been his loyal lieutenant, carrying out party assignments with military precision, from leading the ODM county branch in Homa Bay to managing Raila's presidential campaign in Nyanza, to sitting in the Central Management Committee of ODM. In 2018, and we are coming to the end of this, so that I put you to the people that love you, she co-founded Embrace Kenya, popularizing the Building Bridges initiative. And in 2024, ODM made it official. She was named national chairperson of the party, the key to the Orange Kingdom, handed over by himself, Raila Odinga, and he blessed her. Think about it, Mr. Odhiambo. Raila didn't pick a placeholder, he picked a fighter, someone who could declare Homa Bay an ODM zone and defend it against Ruto's UDA incursions. In 2022, you remember? Gladys Wanga isn't the caretaker of Raila's empire. She's the general left behind to guard it. Okay? So, the question I want to ask you, Mr. Odhiambo, but I want to say this, is that when Wanga, before Wanga, I was hearing of Millie Odhiambo. And I think that right now, if you look at the succession politics in Nyanza, the strongest candidate behind Raila looks like Wanga. When there was devolution conference in Homa Bay, they were walking hand in hand, not hand in hand like physically, but they were, even Ruto looks at that woman and saying that this is a power woman from Nyanza. I thought that Millie Odhiambo would be in that place. What happened?
It would be a difficult question to answer. What happened with Millie Odhiambo?
Yeah.
But I think it's the unforgiving nature of Kenyan politics.
Yeah.
Especially the unforgiving nature of Luo politics. I also thought that Millie Odhiambo was strong as a lieutenant and not as a general.
Okay.
And in this sense, I mean that Millie Odhiambo was strong as a team player and not as a possible captain of the team.
Okay.
You need a very strong midfielder. And Millie Odhiambo was holding onto that position strongly. And I believe up to now, she's still holding strong in that position. And she didn't brand herself specifically to position as somebody who could be promising for the future. Not that she's not worth it. She's very worth it. But she didn't take the position at that time. And maybe Wanga had calculated. Wanga's calculation is over 10 years. Because I come from Homa Bay, first of all, and this is my governor. The place where Wanga started as a woman rep was a very interesting position. She came in, despite the father being whoever he was, a councillor, and the mom being whoever she was, and even the grandfather of Wanga wasn't an ordinary person. These are people who were introduced into politics early enough, and also into money early enough. It told you that Wanga was somebody who was going for something bigger and knew that the seat she was having as a woman rep was an affirmative seat. And she had to pivot very fast when the right time came. When she started a campaign for the women rep position, actually in 2012, we knew, we didn't think of anybody else. We never saw anybody else as much as they were there. So it means her campaign was first overwhelming. It was looking like it was very well planned. And she was executing it with military precision, as you have said. So Wanga planned for the position that she is in and where she's going over 10 years ago. She had a clear picture of where she wanted to go. And that has now played out so well that now she's become the governor. Because you remember, Wanga is one of those people who really supported Cyprian Awiti for a second term. As much as Cyprian Awiti was doing very bad things in Homa Bay County, but Wanga positioned herself to ensure that Cyprian Awiti got a second term against Oyugi Magwanga, who is now the deputy governor, who is deputizing Wanga. That was a very keen calculation. And for us who have political eyes, we saw her, that she was actually protecting Awiti for her succession game. And Millie did not really position herself assertively in the political calculations of 5 years after.
I want to ask you something. Whenever I think of Millie Odhiambo, I'm thinking about Orengo.
Right.
But then I see a slight difference. Orengo is pretty much grounded, and you could call him an age mate of Raila Odinga.
Right.
And so they are friends coming up.
Right.
But every time Millie appeared in public, she was like really trying aggressively to get the favor of Raila Odinga by aggressively protecting him and speaking on his behalf in Parliament. I remember he has come out in Parliament and spoken very aggressively against the regime that Raila was against. And so I'm thinking that Wanga did not go that direction,
Right.
looking for favors from Raila Odinga,
Right.
but sort of thought to himself, how do I stay close to Raila Odinga, but also make my own plans? If I want to be the governor, this is 1, 2, 3 that I must do. I also feel like Millie Odhiambo has been very content with the little she has, being an MP for several years, being in the limelight, being in and out the government, like following Raila Odinga wherever Raila is going. But you can see that Gladys Wanga is a big player in the park. Like I am thinking that Millie Odhiambo is not somebody who calls Ruto and tells Ruto that I want you down in Homa Bay. But I see that in Gladys Wanga. What do you think of that assessment?
Of course, you're accurate in your assessment. I am truly aligned with whatever you're saying. That Millie played small, smaller than what even myself perceived of her. Because I believed she should have gone bigger. And Jagger, there's no harm. 2027, Millie is most probably taking over from Wanga, in the instance that Wanga becomes the deputy president nominee for Honorable Ruto, which is a possibility that is being explored.
I don't agree.
Of course.
I don't see a Millie Odhiambo in that way.
I see a possibility of a Millie Odhiambo.
Unless you're saying that she's going to be scooped and put on that seat.
Of course. There's nobody who is uncomfortable with Millie Odhiambo as a governor. I don't think if anybody's personally as a Homa Bay person, I am totally comfortable with Millie Odhiambo as a governor, because there is something exemplary that I've seen in women leadership, which I would love to continue in the essence of Wanga, and maybe a continuity with Millie Odhiambo. What I'm simply trying to underscore is this, that yes, Millie might have gone lower, but again, political machinations play differently. Raila Odinga, being the CEO of his team, understands what to do. And perhaps what he saw best to do at that particular moment was to hand Wanga the ODM ticket for Homa Bay governorship, okay? It does not mean that in 2027, things could not change. Things could change in 2027. And they could go the way of Millie or anybody else. But as at now, I am very aware that Oyugi Magwanga, who is the deputy governor, is possibly running for governor in 2027. Now, if he's running for governor in 2027, hoping that Wanga is nominated as deputy president by William Ruto, which I hope comes to be, because she's exemplary, she's shown that she can work. I believe that then we can also grant Millie Odhiambo a chance to fly the ODM ticket in Homa Bay. There is no harm. She is of equal task, if not better, than Wanga.
The question then I want to ask you is that, and I'm asking you this because you've got experience with the thinking of Raila Odinga. Does Raila go and take somebody from the streets, for lack of a better word, or he negotiates with people who knocks at his door and say that I want this? Because then I'm not seeing Millie as somebody who is going to get out of the streets and knock the door. I am thinking that she's very comfortable with the Rusinga Island, where she's coming from, and that environment. And also the next question that I will pose to you is that the dwelling campaign, the growing campaign of governorship, it's not for small people or small-minded people. And I'm not calling Millie small-mindedness, but you understand what I mean. Because I feel like Wanga comes with a presence and speaks in the dark, where men speak. I think
what you're saying is fair. It's a fair comment. But also, don't forget that Wanga is who she is because she was made. She didn't just become overnight. She was made. First, she was introduced to the scene by the former senator, the late senator, Tino Kajwang. Then now, she has been because of how she has served the party. Okay? And of course, her presence did her some favor. But now, what I'm saying is that Millie also has a very strong presence. It's just that Millie is respectful enough to grant that chance to Wanga to serve, because she supports women leadership. She does. From deep down her heart, that is something I know about her. So Wanga serving and Millie coming after her, there's no harm. Millie is equally strong. Millie, in fact, I could say Millie is much better. Just that she's very respectful, and when she gives the chance, does not imply that she's an inferior. Does not mean that she's an inferior candidate to this thing. She has a better presence, by the way. It's just that I think there's a problem in her team. She failed to assemble a team that would have channeled her to governorship. And maybe this time, Millie starts preparing for governorship because she has overserved, in my view, again. She's the mother of the house. Mother of the house means the longest serving female member in parliament. I think she's now serving the 3rd or 4th term.
I think it's 4th.
4th term. So that means she's the mother of the house. She's overserved in parliament. And she served very well. Suba is looking very nice. And she's done exemplary well both for the party in terms of representation of the people, legislation, and oversight. We all know that. So it is time she starts assembling a team that is then focusing towards the governorship in 2027. Yes. And that is something very, very doable. It's something practical. It's something achievable.
Do you think she wants it?
I don't think she wants it. Or I don't think if she has never failed to want it, because everybody lives life incrementally. Having served as an MP for 4 terms, it's time for me, in my view, because she cannot go for women rep. Women rep is too small. Women rep is an affirmative action seat. It's time now she goes for the executive seat, which is the real deal. And in this case, it's either Millie goes for Senate or Millie goes for governor. But the best thing I would like for her is to go for governor.
So then, if Millie and I'm not very happy that this conversation is revolving around Millie so much, but I want to bring another aspect, another factor into the question. If for example, if Wanga was asked by whoever to deputize Ruto in 2027, right?
Yes, right.
Who is going to say, apart from Millie, that, okay, now that the matriarch is gone, I am taking this? Who will she fighting this with?
Politics abhors a vacuum. The same, what do you say, rather? Power abhors a vacuum. It's not in Wanga's place to choose her successor.
No, but I'm just saying that the people that will be around looking hawkishly at the seat.
I think I've told you already, there's Oyugi Magwanga, who's close already out, and it's already known that he's going for that seat in 2027. In the hope and in the belief that Wanga is going to be the deputy president for Honorable Ruto in 2027. Also following keenly the comments by Honorable Raila recently that there's a possibility of them sitting down, that's ODM and UDA sitting down, to agree on a power arrangement. And that means the list that the Luo community will take is the position of a deputy president. Okay? Yeah. And who is the most feasible candidate in this form? It's not a Nyang' Nyong'o, he's an octogenarian, he's on his way out.
Okay.
He's not Orengo, he's on his way out. In fact, he opposes this government. He's not a Chilo Ayako, he's lackluster. It then remains to be Wanga, because Wanga is the only person, is the only member of the Central Executive Committee. Okay. That is I think the Central or National Executive Committee, one of them, is the highest decision-making authority or organization in the party. Okay. The other person who is there, but who doesn't have a national appeal, is Rosa Buyu. Okay. So then Wanga going for the deputy president presumptively, let me underscore that, it's presumptive. She has not said she's going for it, it's presumptive. Being that she then looks like the next possible person there, then this opens ground for people like Millie, people like Oyugi Magwanga in the ODM party, and looking around our constituency or our county, Homa Bay, I don't see any other person, because the only other threat that will come will be from the Greater Rachuonyo. The Greater Rachuonyo here meaning Kabondo Kasipul, where I come from, Kasipul Kabondo, where Ngondowere came from. Then we have Rachuonyo constituency, where that is represented by Dipo Kwome. Now, right now, Dr. Evo Bara, who is in her second term in Kabondo Kasipul, is not likely to go for governorship. In fact, in any case, she can only go for Senate on the highest. If you look at Adipo Kwome, I think he's served his usefulness, and it's time that he exits the scene. If you look at which other, Pondo Kaluma, I don't think if he has a county appeal, because first of all, he comes from the other side of town. Okay. So the only other candidate that will be a threatening one then will be either from Ndiwa, because Ndiwa normally votes with the Greater Karachuonyo. So unless there's a candidate from Greater Karachuonyo, who I still don't see, there is no harm, because Greater Karachuonyo has had the governor for 10 years. Now they have a deputy governor. Right now, the governor comes from Rangwe constituency. So it is time, maybe, just maybe, that the governorship goes deep south to the Suba.
Okay.
So it provides a chance for them. Looking at the other side, Moses Kajwang, he's a very astute gentleman, very brilliant, but he walks with his hands in front of him.
Okay. What does that mean?
He's compliant. He's not disruptive. And so he best serves at the position where he's put. He's best serves there. I don't see him having a vision for the county, but it's very brilliant. You listen to him, it's very brilliant. Looks like he has something that he can give, but there's no practical action around it. Okay? Then also it doesn't cut for me the image of somebody who will be authoritative as a governor.
Okay.
So in terms of the next person I see, the most senior politician around Raila, who then fits the bill in this arrangement, is either Oyugi Magwanga or Millie Mabona, in the instance that Wanga goes up to be the deputy president.
For the sake of
and I wish her the best.
For the sake of my international, for my national audience,
yes,
who, because I want to be fair to them, I want them to see what we are talking about.
Right.
And I'm talking about the succession of Luo politics, in the sense that, who do you think that Gladys Wanga is the second most powerful politician in Luo land today after Raila?
No. She's the fastest growing politician in Luo land today.
Who would be the second after?
The second most powerful after Raila for me would be Anyang' Nyong'o.
No, but that's not how I am looking at it.
In what define the context?
I'm looking at it as in terms of who takes after Raila. And even before you answer that question, I want to dial back a little bit and tap into your experience.
Right.
And because you've listened at night.
Right.
Do you think that Fidel Odinga was the preferred successor of Raila Odinga in Nyanza?
It will surprise you that the successor of Raila Odinga in this whole political equation will be Junior.
Is that so?
It will surprise you. Why am I saying so? Because he has the element of surprise. And maybe I've just burst his bubble. But he has the element of surprise.
Who has the element of surprise? Raila Odinga or Junior?
Raila Odinga Jr. That's his name, Raila Odinga Jr. Number one, he's prudent in his thinking. He's very prudent in how he does his work. He's very eloquent in how he speaks. He's very respectful in how he interacts with people. And you'll never see him in the mehe of politics in Kenya. In any case, when he speaks very brilliantly and also very clearly on where he'd like things to be. In very many occasions, he's gone against his father. And this is how Raila Odinga Jr. then becomes the successor of the father.
How?
So Raila Odinga Jr., first of all, sits on the opposite side of the father in terms of thinking. It's undeniable that he sits with the father in terms of lineage. He's the son of Raila Odinga. Okay? But in terms of political thinking and in resonation with the current mindset of politics, that is the Gen Z thinking, people who are future-looking and people who are into new programs of governance, Raila Odinga Jr. thinks differently. If you look at it, even he's posting today, look at his Twitter, go to his Twitter and look at it. Today he just spoke about something that I love very much. He's not my favorite human being, but he's somebody that I love for this reason. He posted that he doesn't understand why the government sends bursary as support. Sorry, government sends bursary as support to the CDF fund. Yeah.
Yes.
Then the CDF fund is given to students or parents for parents to pay it back again to a government-owned school. Why can't government just send the money straight to the school instead of sending it to the students or to the parents? That's a very different kind of thinking, just from the surface level of thinking. Because the father has been here for quite some time. He's one of the architects of CDF, NGCDF. But the son is thinking very differently. Now, those people who don't agree with Raila, people like me, who don't agree with Raila Odinga in terms of how he does his politics, okay? Of course, I cannot measure myself with him, okay? But I'm saying difference in opinion, difference in ideology is accepted. It's a democracy.
Yes.
We are more aligned with somebody like Raila Odinga Jr., who is the only person who can match up Babu Owino. Why? Raila Odinga Jr. is a prince. A prince doesn't need to do much. He only needs to show that he's a little bit different from the father. And he inherits
He's not
the
an
base.
MCA. He's not is he even on ADM? He's not a senator. he's a nobody in politics, except for the fact that he's the. What does he even do?
Which may
All right, people of the internet, I hope that you're enjoying this episode very much. And I just had a break to tell you about my new book. You know, everybody says that there is no job, and that is true. Also, that was me 10 years ago. The problem is that everybody is trying to get a job in their town, in their city, in their marketplace. They ask friends for jobs, mothers call uncles, uncles call brothers, but there are no jobs. Let me tell you what no one is telling you. Jobs migrated online. What I actually mean is there are many, many jobs around the world and there is no one to do them except you. I work for Americans myself. I work for Europeans. I work for the Chinese. I work for the Australians. I work for the Canadians. And so, because I have done so much for myself, I said to myself, you know what? I should compile what I've been doing for the last 15 years. So in 2024, I wrote a digital book called Goldmine 18 Hustles for Africans. And then in 2025, AI came. People say AI is taking away our jobs. And for me, I'm going to say false. There are actually AI jobs. Jobs are not being taken by AI, but there are new jobs online that are there because of AI. Now, mimi ni nani? I created more jobs. And for now, in my new book, we have 25 online and offline jobs that you can leverage on if you do not have a job. So in this powerful volume 2, I share 25 new actionable online hustles specifically researched and tailored for Africans. My new book provides clear step-by-step guidance drawing from my extensive experience and research, including the mistakes I've made and lessons I've learned over the 15 years that I have worked online. So, what can you do online? You can become an executive assistant for busy folks in Europe, America, Canada, and get paid for tasks like watching videos and taking online surveys. Okay? You can build a lot of things. Build a business as a virtual assistant, start an e-commerce shop without capital, be an affiliate marketer, or you can also become actually an English tutor and tens of AI jobs. If you have a job, that is fine. But I also know that you can buy this book for that brother, for that sister, for that mother, for that cousin, for that husband who is watching Netflix all day at home. Buy it for your friend who is always asking for cash. You know that friend. Now, all the information is on the description below. You can also inbox me, you can WhatsApp me, or go to my website, which is odworjigero.co.ke. And now, back to programming.
He runs businesses. Of course, he helps the mother in running one of the companies. He's in petroleum business. He's a guy who is in energy business. He is actually a businessman. He's actually also in media, interestingly.
Yes,
he has a media empire.
I think at some point he had a studio.
He still has a studio.
Really?
Yes, Junior still does his thing. So he's a very different kind of person.
But is he a politician?
What is a politician?
There's somebody who is actively engaged in politics.
And what age do you need to start?
Yeah, that would be a good question.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. Yes.
So you can start anytime. And Junior is young. Junior is only 30-something or 40 on the highest. Junior is a very young man.
How does Raila regard him?
Very dearly. I've sat...
No, politically. Forget about being his son.
And that's what I'm telling
I imagine he has a lot of love for him as a son.
Exactly.
But do you think he has love for him as a politician?
Very dearly. Do you know why? Because he doesn't come out as a threat. Neither does he come out as somebody who is eager to take over the father's seat. So this is somebody who is easily modeled.
My problem also is that he's not a politician, Mr. Odhiambo.
What do you need to become a politician?
Out there. He's not. You see, if you talk about the president's son, what is his name?
George.
You can see him. He gets out. In and out. You could see him coming out, going back. He goes for events. He does this. He does this. Does this. Winnie Odinga is more of a politician than.
Of course, Winnie Odinga is more of a politician, but the disadvantage that we are living in a patriarchy, which does not recognize matriarchy as an absolute form of leadership.
Okay.
So in the form of patriarchy, what the simple thing we need to do is to assemble a small team that works around Junior, and that is it. Junior just needs a small team to prop him up, and that is it. It will not take more than 2 months, and Junior will be out here. Because if Junior today starts making appearances that he wants to do something about politics, the lenses will shift to him. Why? Because it comes from a prominent family. He's the son of Raila Odinga. He bears the name Raila Odinga, only with a suffix, Junior. Okay? So this guy sits at a position where people are not seeing him. And remember the 48 laws of power. Never let them know your steps. And Junior is the unseen inheritor of his father's seat and the unseen outlier in the Odinga family.
Okay, but then when Fidel...
By the way, even if you meet him, he will never talk with you politics.
But when Fidel was still alive, he would, if Fidel were alive today, he would be the outright, person that is going with that.
So it could be the heir apparent. It was actually heir apparent back then because he was very engaging with the people. He was doing politics. His money was out there.
Yeah.
Okay, but there are factors at play which unfortunately led to his demise.
Okay.
So may he rest in peace. But if he was there, of course, things would have been different.
So that then brings me back to Wanga.
Yes.
And a couple of questions that I want to throw at you.
Right.
Number one is that would Raila be happy with Wanga being selected to be the running mate for Ruto? Question number one that I want to put at the back of your mind. Secondly, they go together on a joint ticket. Ruto as the president, as the presidential candidate, and Wanga deputizing him. They both get elected, and Wanga becomes the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya.
Right.
Raila is old in 2027 going forward, but not so old. You understand? So we have Wanga as, because then Wanga will be the second most powerful person in the land. Whether Raila becomes the third most powerful person, I don't know. So then answer this question, because then if we have to answer that question, we have to ask ourselves the question right now, between Kindiki and Raila Odinga, who is more powerful than the other? But then now, we have a very prominent Luo in government. When she goes to Nyanza, she has a bigger contingent than Raila Odinga, and she has more people guarding her than Raila Odinga. Therefore, this is very interesting.
Yes.
How does it work? Tell me how it works.
Yeah. One, even as current,
okay,
Raila's involvement in the government is to stabilize this government, okay? And that you have to appreciate and give it to him. Now, in terms of protocol, if you understand the procedures of protocol, in terms of speech, the person who needs to invite the president is always the deputy president. So in the order of protocol, the prime minister speaks, the former prime minister speaks, the current deputy president, then the president. Now, there's a difference in something called optical illusion. You want to give a political optical illusion. So, to excite Raila's basis and to give the illusion that Raila is actually more powerful than Kindiki, of course, he's given the chance to speak after Kindiki, and then he invites the president. It's not right in protocol, but it's right in political illusion, optic illusion, okay? Now, that said, will Raila be happy to see Wanga as a deputy president? Yes, if he elects Wanga as the deputy president, which I suspect he will do, if, in case he does not run, which will be a dangerous thing. But Wanga will be a placeholder. And that is what Wanga must know. That in the instance Raila elects you to be the deputy president in 2027, then you're a placeholder for the Odinga family and the Odinga interest. That is right. There's nothing wrong about it. Okay? Placeholder here to mean you are sitting in on behalf of. Because Kenya is a free market. And in free markets, what influences policies? And remember how businesses work, Jagero. There are businesses which work on profit mode. Now, when you're still working on profit mode, you're still advertising, come buy my thing, you're still not anywhere.
Yes.
But when you move to policy, like now you're on insurance, where policemen can stop each at the cars and look at the insurances, then it's at policy mode. Now, what influences policy, like bank interest rates, whatever, SACCOs, that is about laws that are made in parliament. Now, at the level of the deputy president and the presidency, these people are fighting for control of the law. And Wanga going there to be in control of the law, because you are able to influence the legislature to pass laws that favor businesses or the free market, okay? Including even importation and exportation. She will be holding brief on behalf of the Odinga political, capitalistic interests. And Wanga is a beautiful, respectful politician. She understands the game. She understands that you can be put somewhere by powerful people. She even understands that you can be made president and you're not powerful. She understands that there are people behind the presidency. And Raila is now one of those people behind the presidency. And in 2027, I see it playing out as a possibility.
So then that is very interesting.
Yeah.
I am Wanga. I become the deputy president in 2027.
Right.
I have got security of tenure until 2032.
No. Yeah, until 2032. Right.
Yes. And in
security of tenure?
Yes.
There's no security of tenure at the deputy president's office. You can be impeached.
Yes.
There's no security of tenure.
Yeah. Let's go with that for a while.
Sawa. All right.
At least if I behave around the president, I'll be there until 2032.
Of course.
If I don't make Gachagua kind of noise, I'll be there. And in my head, as Wanga, I am thinking by 2032, this guy is really old.
Which guy?
Raila Odinga.
Okay.
He's really, really old. And the question then would be, why do I need to pay homage to the Odingas within this period of 5 years? Because the man is 80 what?
81?
81. So by the time the Wanga is getting finished with the position of deputy president, he's actually nearing 90. And he's probably not going to be in political, campaign and doing his silly things of,
You'll pay with your teeth.
Nani was saying that? Joaquim was saying that.
Tumengoa makucha. Amebaki kibogoyo.
Ni yeye atakuwa amebaki kibogoyo. Huyo Raila mwenyewe. And this is something really, really interesting then.
Right.
Because Raila at the end of 2032, he's a very old man, and we are having Wanga as the most powerful person in Luoland, quote unquote. And this is where I was going. And people die. Wanga can die, Raila can die, Jagero can die, Odhiambo can die. Let's say Raila dies in 2030. What happens? Does she become the matriarch of the Luo nation?
Well, and this purely analytical. We are not saying this is what's going to happen, okay? We are trying to play the scenarios.
Yes.
Your audience needs to understand that. So let me clear out that.
Yes.
That we are not saying this definitely is going to happen.
Yeah.
We're only trying to have a discussion around it. Now, that underscored, yes, every atom has a lifespan. And there is a time that comes when an atom has to exit the scene of science.
Yes.
And all of us, as you've said, we are headed there. And of course, the older ones exit earlier. And the younger ones are expected to live longer. But things could happen. So in the instance Raila stays, even if he does, he'll be very fatigued. Already he is. And I don't see him campaigning as much, even in 2027. But if he sustains until 90-year-old, we've seen 90-year-olds who are fairly strong, but of course, there are also natural occurrences which may make him not very strong at that time. I don't want you to be politically naive, Jagero, to imagine that the Odinga Empire is a 2-shilling empire. The logistical difference, which is a key factor in political mobilization, okay? The logistical difference, which is a key factor in political mobilization. Now, Raila Odinga and the Odinga Empire is one that was established in 1963. It has its people in the system. It has its people around Kenya and beyond that have sustained it to date. The Wanga Empire started in about 2013. It's fairly young. It's fairly young to be over-ambitious.
My worry is, without the head of the snake, I think there is chaos.
There won't be chaos because it's a very orderly.
Is it really?
It's a very.
Is it really that
let me tell you why it's very orderly.
If we were to say, have you watched that film, there is a series in the United States about the Murdoch family. Is it? There's a series.
The Rupert Murdoch family.
Yeah.
I know there's
is it not the is it not
there are serial media.
Is it not
whatever.
the media magnate?
Media magnate.
Yes.
It's a serial media magnate owner.
There is a series there with very crazy boys and family members. I'm not saying that the Odinga family has got crazy people around it, but I'm just saying. So, for example, right now, we have Raila exiting the scene.
Right.
We have Raila Odinga Jr.
Right.
Would he be the head of the family at that point?
Of course. Now this how study the Rothschild.
Okay, I'm not done.
Sorry.
So will he be the head of the family, or and where is the place of the lady Winnie Odinga? Winnie Odinga and Junior, who is more powerful than the other?
That's an interesting question. Now, can I answer you?
Yes.
Good. So, first of all, even today, the head of the Odinga family is not Raila Odinga. It is Dr. Oburu Odinga. In any family meeting.
No, bullshit. No.
Just you
digressing.
You asked me a question. Allow me to answer you.
I'm not talking about the Jaramogi Oginga family.
Okay.
I'm talking about Raila Odinga family.
Okay.
Because I think there is a difference between the.
That's true.
Does Oburu have sons?
That's true. Of course, he has sons. Two of them, I think.
Two of them?
Yeah.
So then there is the Oburu family,
Yes.
and then there is the Odinga family.
Right.
I'm talking about the Odinga family.
Okay.
Yes.
So I was contextualizing for you
Yes.
that in the Jaramogi family,
Okay.
Oburu is the head of the family, but Raila is the political face. All right? Remember, Raila is the younger brother to Oburu. In the same instance, in this family setting of Raila Odinga, Winnie is much younger than Junior. Winnie is now the political whatever. She's playing some small league there as a representative in Iala. But I told you, our society is patriarchal. Our society is still not ready for a woman presidency or an absolute woman leadership in terms of community goal. This is a reality. It's going to sound very bad and very archaic and very backward, but it is just the reality. It's not me saying it, it is the people who are saying it. For one reason, if this society was looking at leadership differently, then Martha Karua would today be with Raila Odinga in State House, because there's that chance. And remember, women are more than men in this country, including even in terms of election, in terms of voters, registered voters. That underscored. I see a possibility, and right now, between Winnie and Junior, of course, Winnie is always around the father, so she's learned more around the father. But Junior has the advantage of new blood, coming in as an outsider, coming in as a person who people will see, okay, he's an Odinga, but he's a different Odinga. The same case in DRC, where we had Tshisekedi now, who is the president, and the father who was an opposition leader. People seeing Tshisekedi as somebody new. The same case happened with Kabila, the Kabila Junior and the Kabila Senior. In fact, the Kabila Junior overthrew somebody from power, okay? So, and people thought that this Kabila Junior would be different from Kabila Senior. The same case here. These things happen the same way across the world. So Junior is properly packaged, my brother. And don't think that his silence is because he's weak or is because he's some type of way.
I feel like he's somebody that is not interested in politics.
He could seem like he's not interested in politics, but these are empires. In empires, they sit and discuss and say, okay, like in 2027, who is the senior most politician from the Odinga family who is going to remain in power? Have you thought about that?
No.
It's Ruth Odinga.
Ruth Odinga, the one that is trying to be a
governor in Kisumu. Because Oburu Odinga is most probably not going to contest. And if he contests, he's going to fail. That is a given fact. Okay? Raila Odinga is probably not going to contest for presidency. If he does, sour. But if he doesn't, you know what's going to happen. He will then give Ruto a deputy. Which then makes... And Raila is strongest as a kingmaker. This one I've always said. Now, that said, if you look at it carefully, then you'll realize that Junior will be forced to become the leader or the political face of the Odinga family. Just like in the Moi family, Raymond is older. But they made Gideon the political face of the family. So they will make Junior, whether he likes it or not, because he's the youngest, he's the one who is not already branded with the Odinga kind of politics. He's the one who seems most viable to connect with the younger people. Because if you interact with Junior, you'll understand. His politics is not like the father. He's not a person.
What is his politics?
I think Junior is more of.
Is he on Raila Odinga in 1980s?
No. He's a new generation thinking kind of a politician, in my view. Looking at him as a politician. Because he's somebody who's more action-oriented. Having been in the business world and having run all these businesses on behalf of the family, he runs actually some business on behalf of the family, makes him somebody who has that different thinking, which resonates with the Gen Zs, which resonates with the new generation. Being that he also has a very young family, his thinking is more grounded in his young family, okay, than people who are already old in the system of the Odingas. Winnie, unfortunately, is not in that space yet.
Okay.
She's not yet married. I know someday she'll be married, but not yet now. So before she gets there, it becomes a question for her to take over the Lu leadership. It becomes a question, who are you married to? Because how do you want to lead us? Do you want to lead us if you're married in Nigeria, for example? You can't be a matriarch with the throne in Nigeria. If you're going to be a matriarch, then we must know. You are our daughter who we have said we are not giving out. You are remaining with us in the home. So you're going to fight for us. Okay, that's fine, like we did for Millie Odhiambo. So that must be agreed upon. But from what I see, and having interacted with Winnie, I don't think, genuinely thinking, I don't think she is one who would fit easily with this new generation thinking. Having worked with her at the campaign secretariat as well, I don't see it in her, but I see it in the brother Junior.
I think that, but so suppose that, because I think you were saying that power abhors a vacuum.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what happened in Tanzania when we had a very meek deputy president in the name of Suluhu Hassan.
Yeah, Samia.
Samia, yeah. And she was nobody knew about her. And
right.
Everybody was thinking that, okay, Chama cha Mapinduzi is going to get somebody that is going to be, take over very easily. And I'm just thinking that in the absence of Raila Odinga, we could just have, the Tanzanian president is not I'm not a fan of hers.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying we could have Samia, who in the frame of Gladys Wanga, taking charge of Nyanza politics, because I see the way she's going around.
Gladys Wanga, and I want to get this. Gladys Wanga is not an emergent leader in terms of national politics. She has a very specific constituency, okay, that she appeals to. These are Raila's fans that she appeals to. She does not appeal to her own fan, because I can ask you today, who are Gladys's genuine followers that if she's off the Odinga politics or the Odinga matrix, who is she? Where are her people? Would you tell me that?
That seems to me like a question that would be relevant to any Luo leader currently.
Exactly, okay?
Yes.
So unless it is handed over to her, she doesn't have it. That's all I'm trying to say. This constituency of Raila fanatics and Raila believers must be given directly to her and told, take care of these people.
And this is what I feel is
and that is what Raila has to do if he has to do it.
That's what I feel is very interesting with Luo politics, because if you look at Maina Njenga, he has got his followers.
Yes,
if you look at Wamunyoro, he has got his followers.
Exactly.
Ichungwa might be having his own. And the Bal guy from Kiambu, what is his name?
Which one?
The one that has been co-opted into government by William Ruto.
I don't know him. Moses Kuria.
The bald guy, you know him. He's in. What is his name?
Kabogo Ru.
Kabogo, yes.
Oh, the guy. Oh, you call him a bald guy? Akijegero, you're bad.
Easy.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Yeah, but
okay.
he's bad.
In the Bible, we're told don't talk bad about bald people. No, you didn't talk bad. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, Kabogo.
So that's so I think that what you're saying is irrelevant, because there is no Luo, and you're not talking about Raymond Omolo. I don't know your problem with Raymond Omolo. He's the most powerful man in Ruto's government. Why are you not talking about him in as far as Luo politics is concerned, bro?
Raymond Omolo sits at a very interesting position, because Raymond Omolo is not of political character. He lacks political character. He lacks political taste. He's flat out. I don't feel him.
I think you could be right, but you could also be wrong.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
Raymond Omolo sits at a very powerful position appointed by Ruto. Raymond Omolo also has no constituency. But Raymond Omolo sits at a position where he can make use of it. Okay? And it's especially with the team that is assembling around him right now.
What team? What is that team for?
because, presidency is not, or the future of Luo politics does not just come from nowhere. There is a political question about it. And Raymond Omolo must be modeled, and he must accept to be modeled. And I think he's doing it, because I've seen there's a whole thing about some youths. There's a whole team that is financing.
There's some youth.
I think there's something going on.
They are planting trees and shit like that. And
and they're also helping Mondliete widows. I think it's doing something, but it's still not of political capital to me, to the extent that it can take over.
Is that political capital, or it is philanthropy?
It is philanthropy that is clothed as political capital. And that is where I think there's a mistake. Exactly. So he may need to hire a very serious team that may model him to that extent. But for now, he's serving the purpose.
Perhaps you're assuming that does he have political ambitions?
Who would not like political ambition?
No. Does he have? Because
I don't
he might
know.
not have.
He can tell you. I don't know. But the people around him seemingly are saying he has it. He's a good guy. Look, Raymond Omolo is a good guy. But I don't see the political muscle in him.
If he were to go for a political seat, what would it be? I want to ask this question the other way.
Right.
As a political consultant, if Raymond Omolo came to you and told you that I want to go for a seat, what would you tell him to do? Which seat? Is it MCA? Is it senatorship? Is it MP? Is it governor? What would you, and where would that be?
I would model Raymond Omolo absolutely for Nairobi, because Luo leadership has always come from Nairobi. If he has to leave, I'll model him for Nairobi.
Governorship?
Governorship, yeah. So that he can then push from there or continue from there. Because there's nothing that... Raymond Omolo is basically, for me, the deputy president. Because the president talks to him every day. He's the one who coordinates the government in reality. He's the one who deals with the emergencies of the state. Any moment, any minute by minute. This guy does not even sleep. This guy is extremely busy. He's basically the maid of the president. And that is an extremely powerful position that if he leaves it, or when he leaves it, I will model him for Nairobi governorship. Because remember, I've told you this before. Look at all Luo national leaders. They've always emerged from Nairobi unless they are made. Raila emerged from here. Okay? Mboya emerged from here. So for Raymond Omolo to grow, he must then come from Nairobi governorship, or he must then go through Nairobi governorship. And he can, because Nairobi governorship is just about branding, proper branding, and being in the right team at the right time. And Raymond Omolo is not a mean man, from what I've heard. I've never tasted his money, but I know he's not a mean man. There are so many people who I've sat with who have spoken so nicely about him. I've never had even one person say anything negative about him. That's something interesting about that. Yeah? So I would model him for Nairobi governorship and nothing else. Then from there, he will spring up and bring the Luos together, okay? And maybe the younger population, because he is a representation of a new age, which he can effectively marshal up to then negotiate for senior positions in the government, like the deputy president, or who knows, even the president. Nobody knew that this Ruto could be a president, but now he is. So Raymond Omolo is one of them who could be.
Ruto has always looked like a president in the making.
He has always looked like one.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe I was blind.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
right.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Odiamutino. It's
Thank you
always...
so
What were we drinking? Oh.
Yeah, this is something nice.
Looks good.
Or cheers to political headache.
Cheers to political headache. Yeah.
Before you end.
Yeah.
There's a new headache in town.
Which one?
Parliament was accused. We will talk about it.
Yeah, of corruption.
Of corruption. They're crying. Like, wee.
Thank you very much, people of the internet. It's always nice having you guys. We want you to leave comments. We want you to subscribe to this Political Headache, our channel, so that whenever we have got a podcast, you can be the first person to see. Give us what you think. Do you think that, Gladys Wanga is the matriarch of Luoland, post Raila? All right? Not that he's going to die, but, when his energy is completely, like a battery gone out.
A queen.
Until another episode, bye for now.
Thank you.